I know this is kind of an interesting setup, but come on guys, it's Thanksgiving, and I had to give up my room to a little girl. Rise of the Guardians. Rise of the Guardians is another CGI animated film brought to us by Dreamworks, and Dreamworks is kind of hit or miss with me on animated movies. You see, most of the time, after I come out of a Dreamworks movie, I'm never like, oh, that was a terrible movie. But I'm also never like, oh, that was a great movie. You know, really, Dreamworks movies are just pretty average. Now, in my opinion, Dreamworks did hit a big speed bump this summer with Madagascar 2. Movie got good reviews to my surprise because I really didn't like that movie. I thought that was one of Dreamworks' worst, but I still had some faith going into Rise of the Guardians. Now, this movie is about the Guardians, of course, and the Guardians in this movie are Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, and the Sandman. And these Guardians, they protect the children, they help the children, you know, everyone loves them, everyone knows them, and you know, what powers them is belief. You know, kids who believe in these Guardians, you know, basically power the Guardians. So if kids stop believing in the Guardians, they lose their powers, and that is definitely a part of this. But the Boogeyman, or Pitch Black as he is called in the movie, comes along and he, you know, he's mad. You know, he's kind of an outcast. No one really believes in him. No one, you know, is afraid of the Boogeyman, and he's like, oh, I don't want this anymore. He makes, you know, everything go crazy, all this fear and nightmares and stuff, and basically Jack Frost comes into the picture. He's a new guardian, like the moon appoints him to be a guardian, and he has to help the other guardians fight the Boogeyman. Now, when I just said that entire story, you probably thought that was utterly ridiculous, which is very true. But even if ridiculous, Rise of the Guardians actually was pretty decent. It's not Pixar level. It's not even, you know, it's nowhere near the kind of DreamWorks level that they got with How to Train Your Dragon or the first Shrek. But it's a little bit better. I think it's better than like Madagascar or you know, some of those kind of other lesser DreamWorks franchises. So I think it's actually pretty good. Like most DreamWorks animated movies, it has an extremely star-studded cast. You got Chris Pine, of course, Captain Kirk from Star Trek as Jack Frost. Alec Baldwin giving a very funny performance as Santa Claus, Russian Santa Claus. Very interesting. Hugh Jackman, probably my favorite of the entire cast, as the Easter Bunny. And Jude Law plays the Boogeyman, who was, of course, the villain of this movie. And he did a fantastic job. The animation in this movie, of course, is something I expected to be absolutely stunning. Better than most DreamWorks movies. You know, sometimes, like especially like I said, Madagascar 3, which I don't like. I don't think it had good animation, so that's something I liked about this one. Actually, the animation was exciting and very beautiful, lots of crisp little details, which I really loved. Also, the movie's pretty dang entertaining, you know, only about an hour and 30, 40 minutes, and I had a blast watching the film. You know, it went by pretty quickly. Definitely a great thing to do when you're bored, or, you know, if you have, you know, a little brother, little sister, or friends, like I took a couple of little friends to go see it. Definitely something you would like to do when you're bored. One thing that I really liked about this movie is that it has Easter Bunny, it has Sandman, those kind of people in it, who are, you know, lesser characters. You know, everyone knows Santa Claus, basically. You know, he's like the main guy you think of when you think about like these fairy tale people. Everyone loves Santa Claus. And he's had so many movies before. Every year it seems like we're getting another movie. It's like, oh, there he is, it's Santa Claus. But this movie actually doesn't even have that much to do about Christmas. It's not even set around Christmas time, which I found to be very interesting considering, you know, Christmas is coming up in just about a month now. So very interesting. I'm glad that they took that route though, a lot different and a lot better than I thought it could have been. Of course, this movie has its set of problems. One thing is, I don't know what they were going for completely, but this movie was not very funny. I didn't really laugh that much at all. I mean, there are a couple chuckles here and there, but, you know, this could have been, you know, maybe not intended to be a funny movie. But I feel like with animated movies now, they're mainly comedies before their action adventure. And I feel like this one really, I don't know what was up with that. It wasn't really funny to me at all. No laughter from the theater either. Also, the movie is ridiculously predictable. I mean, I predicted scenes that happened in this movie. Not exactly an original story, even if it does seem a little bit more original. You know, it's an interesting concept, a pretty original concept. The execution wasn't great. And the Sandman, I liked his character, but he was very underutilized. I will say one thing. And you know, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird movie, but it's good. I liked it. Very predictable story. But overall, I mean, Rise of the Guardians might not be Wreck-It Ralph or Toy Story 3 or any of those kind of animated movies, but it is better than some animated movies I've seen this year. It's actually maybe my third favorite, definitely a heck of a lot better than Madagascar 3. I would go see it. It's something, I don't know if it's worth seeing in the theater. Do not see it in 3D. I saw it in 3D. Don't pay the extra $3 to see it. 3D absolutely did nothing to the film. But I'm going to give Rise of the Guardians a 7 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed my review, and happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys next time, hopefully with a review of Red Dawn, maybe tonight, most likely tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.